Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ghost. I've got another cool little prepper idea for you. We were talking, or the other day I put a video out about bugging out, and if you are going to bug out, even if you have a bug out vehicle, plan to walk. You always need to plan for the worst case scenario, and plan to have your water caches and food caches and reload caches, every half a mile to a mile, depending on the terrain. In between where you are and where you need to be. If you're bugging out and you're going from here to here, go ahead and walk that area. Walk it more than once. Walk it with a load on your back. Get used to how it feels. Get used to walking it with 5 gallons of water. Or, excuse me, not 5 gallons of water. At least a gallon of water on you to make it, a mile or half a mile to your next resupply point. Because water is heavy. Heavy. Water, a gallon of water is 8.3 pounds per gallon. And you need at least 5 gallons a day if you're really humping. 3 gallons is sufficient. If you're just sitting around doing nothing, you'll probably be just fine on a gallon, even less. You'll be dehydrated, but you can function. But in a bug out scenario, if you got to go 15 miles or even 5 miles, which is doable in a day, it's a pretty easy hump. If you're carrying a load, 40, 50 pounds in your bug out bag, it's going to be a little bit harder. But the problem is water. So if you got a 50-pound bug out bag and that doesn't include the water that you're going to need to make it 5 miles, you're getting dick punched, because it's going to hurt before you get there. You're going to need water, and like I said, water is 8.33 pounds per gallon. So if you're carrying 3 gallons to go 5 miles, that's an additional 25 pounds you have to carry. Or you could go out every half mile or mile and make you a little cache, nothing big, something that holds maybe a gallon of water, 5 or 6 water bottles, a couple of reloads for your hardware, maybe some energy bars, things like that, quick energy candy bars, something with sugar, something small, something that would fit, in the size of a small box. But I have seen a lot of people doing their caches, and this is what gets me, is they'll get a big, 17-gallon tote and fill it with all this stuff and then bury it. Well, here's the problem with that, all right? Those totes are huge and they're hollow on the inside. So even if you bury it, say, a foot deep, and then you walk across it, you can tell you're walking across a hollow space in the ground. It's a really easy way to lose all your caches, is if you're burying them in totes, and when you walk on it, you can feel that empty hollowness. You can feel it bounce, kind of like a diving board. Worst case scenario, somebody walks across it because of the weight and those cheap-ass totes, and the lid just collapses. Now they just fell right into the middle of your cache, and they have all your stuff. And I know a lot of people say, well, you wouldn't bury it in the middle of the path. You bury it, off the area out to the side. Well, find me a tree that you can bury a tote. That those things are probably 3 foot by 2 foot wide, maybe another 3 foot deep. Find an area like that close to a tree where nobody's going to walk, that you're not going to run into a whole bunch of roots, okay? Even if you put it out in the middle of nowhere where you think nobody's walking, usually when people are bugging out, they're not walking down a path. They're walking through the rough area if they're smart, because it's called an avenue of likely approach. You don't want to be walking down the path. That's where people are going to expect you to be. So obviously you need to put your caches off the beaten path, but there are going to be people moving around out there. So what I suggest, it's a simple, quick, easy fix, is this is just an example. This is PVC, but this is made from a rainwater collection system. This isn't an actual PVC pipe that you get at the store, but it's a representation. You can get them, 4 foot wide, 6 foot wide. I think you could even get some of them that are like 10, 12 inches inside here diameter wise. But you can get the 4 foot PVC pipes, and make sure you get schedule 40. You got thin wall, which is sewer pipe and drain pipe, and then you've got schedule 40, which is hard. You could get a 2 or 3 foot section of 4 foot PVC pipe. Get your 2 little end caps. You put 1 end cap on it. You seal it with silicone around it. You fill that thing up with water bottles. You fill it up with reloads. You fill it up with whatever you want to fill it up with. Candy bars, energy bars, whatever. Then you take the other end cap. Before you put it on there, you throw you a couple oxygen absorbers in there. Put the end cap on it real quick. And then seal the outside of it with caulking as well. Then you bury this in the ground. You don't have to go very deep with this, and an elephant can walk across the top of it, and they're not going to know it's there. It's watertight, it's airtight. You put an oxygen absorber in there, so the stuff's going to stay good, which means theoretically you could put rice, you could put beans, you could put a lot of stuff in these caches throughout the woods, and you could actually do this throughout your yard and just plant them in random crazy places. you know, obviously you want to figure a mapping system, a way to where you know they are. And that's why I said in my other video, if the whole reason you're bugging out when shit hits the fan means the world's gone to shit. All right. So what I would do if I was in a bugging out situation, if I planned on bugging out and I was going to go bury a bunch of these caches throughout the woods on the way to getting to where I'm going. Now, number one, I'm going to bury them on my route to get there, my easiest route to get there, but I'm also going to bury them on route B and C. I'm going to have alternate routes to get there, where if something happens, I hear somebody, I can bug out to the right or the left, a half a mile or a mile, and I can find me another cache and I can go an alternate route. Okay. So you're going to be burying a lot of stuff that you're probably never going to use. But it's good to know it's out there if you do need to use it. And the thing is, once these things are buried throughout there, I mean, you've got backup ammo, you've got food, you've got water, you've got everything you need. And it's basically hermetically sealed, you know, for years and years and years. It's not going to go bad. But that's my suggestion. That's the way you bury caches, would be in PVC pipes. Seal them with caulking, throw a couple oxygen absorbers in there, and rock and roll, and you're good to go. Stay away from the totes. Those things are thin-walled. They're cheap as shit. Somebody walks across it, they're going to fall down into your cache, and all your stuff's gone. So spend a couple extra dollars. And honestly, you could get a complete stick of 6-inch or 8-inch or even just 4-inch if you want to go 4-inch, because 4-inch pipe, it fits water bottles perfectly. I mean, you can put several water bottles in there, and you can get those for just a few bucks. I mean, you can go out there and have several stashes set up between you and your bug out location with PVC, where you don't have to worry about it. And the way that I would suggest you do it, when you map it out on a piece of paper where all your caches are, I would find a buddy with a tattoo gun, or go to a tattoo shop. Don't tell them why, but you want to draw a map and disguise it, you know, saying a picture of a pretty flower or some really cool tribal art tattoo. But take your map of all your cache spots and then basically connect the dots and have some artist or somebody figure out how they can turn that into a tattoo, to where your map is tattooed on you. That way you're not going to lose it. Nobody else can understand what it is. And who cares if it's an ugly tattoo? The world just went to shit, okay? Aliens are landing in your backyard. Who cares if you have an ugly tattoo? If that tattoo takes you to your food and your water and your reloads, okay? That's just my personal opinion. I've got 7 tattoos, and every single one of them are ugly. I wish I never got them in the first place. But it would be really cool if one of those ugly tattoos could lead me to water. That's it for right now, guys. I'll try to check back in later with some other stuff, maybe a couple of scenario breakdowns. I'm up to 6, and I think today will be number 7. I'll try to do 7 and 8 today, and we will go from there. But thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, please say you like it. Leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I would really, really appreciate that. I'm almost at 500 subscribers. I was at 491 this morning when I checked. So it'd be cool if I can get over 500 by the end of the day. That would be neat. Other than that, if you have any questions, email me or send me a comment, and I'll talk to you guys later.